Something I noticed that was really important from Master Worlds and the watching some of the Abu Dhabi Grand Slam matches, these short matches that are 5-6 minutes, it's really important to understand that there's a sense of urgency to score in the beginning. There's also a sense of urgency to finish strong. So something that we work on in in our dojo is the 90-second drill, a 60-second drill, and a 30-second drill. Your approach when there's 90 seconds left is going to be different than when there's 30 seconds left. Obviously, your approach when you're down by 3 points is going to be different than if you're down by 2 points. Your approach. But let's narrow down the variables here. Let's understand the situation. So we're down by 2 points, and there's 90 seconds left. If you're on guard, all you need to score is 2 points, and the match is tied. The amount of time you have to set things up when there's 90 seconds is going to be different than 60 seconds. It's going to be different than 30 seconds. So your approach, your assertiveness, your sense of urgency to get things done, to make things happen, have to be a lot quicker. And you're going to have less time waiting and feeling them out. You're going to have to be urgent, forcing them to make mistakes. Now, in that process, you're going to make mistakes too. You have a little more leeway when there's 90 seconds left, and so you're not as I don't want to say you don't have to be in a panic, and you shouldn't be in a panic, but you should be trained knowing what your best stuff is, what positions you need to get to, and how you're going to set them up with 90 seconds. In 30 seconds, you might be swinging for home runs. A good analogy is, let's think of it like 90 seconds left. You're down by a point, and if it's baseball, it's still the 7th inning. 60 seconds left. Now it's the 8th inning. 30 seconds left. Now it's the 9th inning, and you need to make something happen. You don't ever want to be desperate, but your desperation levels increase, right? What you're going for, the risks that you're taking is going to increase with the less time remaining. Now 90 seconds left, and you're down by 4 points, 5 points. You can take bigger risks, and you can put them in a more they might even give up points, so know and understand like that they might give up some points just to not get pinned or just to not get submitted. So know that like you can score big points and maybe even close in the gap, but knowing that they're not going to give up a submission, or but also know that that's the time when you make them feel at risk or feel danger, your chances of scoring, your chances of getting a submission increases. So it's important to understand that while your sense of urgency increases, their sense to protect and to save themselves, to protect and not get scored on, also increases. The big situations that we want to understand is situations where it's really close. Maybe it's 1 point, and one thing that you do can lead to your victory. Maybe it's an advantage, and just scoring a point brings you to your win. So it's important to be prepared, and having trained, knowing that there's 90 seconds left, and you need to bring yourself to your best stuff to score. Train that. Don't just rely on your talent and your natural abilities. Train it with a partner, holding on for dear life just to not get scored, and you going to score, aggressively trying to score your takedown or your pass or your sweep, or get your submission. But it's important to just to reiterate, understand and have a strategy when there's 90 seconds left. Have a strategy when there's 90 seconds left and you're down by a point. A strategy when you're down by 3 points or 5 points. Have a strategy when there's 60 seconds. Have a strategy when there's 30 seconds. So when I'm coaching, something that I try to emphasize is, I'll tell people, hey, it's a 90-second drill. Let's do, you know, because whatever you practice, you're going to do in competition. So in practice, we practice these 90-second drills. How are you going to score 3 points in 90 seconds? How are you going to set up a submission in 90 seconds? How are you going to do that with 60? How are you going to do that with 30 seconds? Doing so is going to put you in a situation where, you could be in a match where you're commonly in. Watching the Masters Worlds, watching the Abu Dhabi Grand Slam, a lot of matches came down to those last 90 seconds, the last 60 seconds, 30 seconds. Some people were able to come up on top, and some people, were shut down. Maybe they got stalled out. Maybe they got scored on as they were trying something. But be prepared to score in those situations. Be prepared to put out your best stuff. Have a plan of attack, knowing that they're going to be holding on to just fend you off for another 30 seconds, 60 seconds. Knowing certain things that you do is going to set you up for, for a submission. Certain things that you do is going to set you up for a submission, or a sweep, or a pass, a point scoring potential. And make those things happen. If you don't train it, you're going to have a hard time making it up in competition. But if you've trained it previously and okay, 90 seconds left, I need to get to this position, I'm going to set him up, do my quick setup for this submission. I'm going to set him up for this sweep. If you have that training beforehand, the chances of you being successful in competition increases dramatically. So make that a part of your preparation. Think 90-second drill, 60-second drill, 30-second drill. That's going to contribute to your success in the heat of the battle. Because ultimately, in the game of competition, we have to play within confined rules. We have to play within a time limit. And if you don't like it, find a different organization that doesn't play those games. But part of the sport is knowing that there's a set of rules that you need to follow, and knowing that there's a time limit and you need to play your best game within that time limit. And that should be part of the fun. That should be part of the challenge. So embrace that challenge and think those 90 seconds, 60 seconds, 30 seconds. Be prepared to do your best if you're down by a point. And then the opposite is true too. So you're up by 2 points and there's 90 seconds left. The person's coming after you. How are you going to hold on? How are you going to hold on and maybe, let the time expire without stalling? Are you going to be attacking, taking bigger risks, or are you going to be more on the defensive, holding on? 60 seconds left. You're winning by 10 points. Well, you know that they're coming for a submission, and they're swinging for that home run in the 8th inning. So how are you going to fend that off? Are you going to be throwing, your fastballs? Are you going to be throwing your curveballs and your knuckleballs? What kind of game? What strategy are you going to be going into it when there's 60 seconds left? When there's 30 seconds left? So how you're going to score and get back on top to win the match, and then how are you going to maintain your lead and maintain that position to win the match as well. It works both ways. Train both things. You're going to be more prepared going into those 5-6 minute matches for competition. Having said that, it's also important to know, like, every match ends with 30 seconds left, 60 seconds left, 90 seconds left. So it doesn't matter if you're going for if you're in a 10-minute black belt match, you're still, when there's 90 seconds left and you're down by 2, you have to have a 90-second drill. You have to have a 60-second drill. You have to have a 30-second drill. If you're winning by 2, you have to have these drills. You have to be prepared by doing these drills and knowing what's your plan. What position are you going to take it to where you're safe, where you can't get scored on, where you can't get submitted, where you can score, where you have the highest percentage of getting the submission. Those are important things to plan out ahead in your training. All right, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm happy. It makes me happy to be able to help you in training and in competition. See you guys on the mat.